Hi, thank you so much for viewing and watching. I thank you all for subscribing to this blog. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. If you don't know how to, that's okay. I don't mind. I just appreciate you watching. I also appreciate all the emails, questions, and comments I've gotten. I'm just having a blast. And I thank you for being a part of this journey with me. I just wanted to, today, take a few minutes of your time to talk about a situation that I have just recently learned of. Didn't know about it. I'm sure the whole world has known about this situation, but I didn't. Just a couple weeks ago, watching the Yolanda Adams morning show, heard the name Ted Williams. Had not heard of him, and they just kept remarking about this remarkable voice that he had, and this whole idea that he needed to go into rehab, to deal with some addictions that he has. Had not heard of him, so I went on YouTube to find out about him. And let me just say, or interject here, that I hadn't heard of him because in 2010 I had made the conscious effort not to watch TV. I just felt like, for me, TV was a waste of time. It was impeding upon my ability to hear from God well. I thought most of what I was watching on TV did not feed my spirit, did not feed my soul, so I turned the TV off. This year I might turn it back on. I may or may not. I might incorporate the world news. Oprah has her own network, and I hear that that's good quality television. I might watch a few of her shows. And I might watch the show Intervention. People have told me about it. I've heard about it, have never watched it, but they said it's fantastic, so I might catch an episode or two. But I just don't really have a huge desire to watch it any longer. And I'm reading this book called Made to Crave by Lyse TerKeurst. And the thing that she says is, we crave what we eat. I think is a fantastic statement, and I think it's so true, because we really do crave what we eat. So the things that become a part of our diet, even our food diet, but also just our diet in terms of what we watch and see and do, really becomes what we crave. So at first I didn't want to let go of TV. I loved reality shows, loved to watch people's interactions, but the less I watched of it, and once I just turned it off, I didn't even care to watch it any longer. So, hey, that's just me and my plug for filling your spirit and soul with things that matter. But anyway, Ted Williams. I went on YouTube to find out about this Ted Williams and understand the story. And one of the videos that really broke my heart was the reunion that he had with his mother. But in that reunion, I had an opportunity to understand why, or at least at least a portion of why he might be where he is now. And if you go back to watch that reunion, you will see not a grown man coming to meet his mother after 20 years of disconnection, but it really looked like an 11 or 12-year-old boy running to his mommy to get approval from her. And he even said that. He kept saying, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, it's been so long, and I'm finally doing something right." And some of the first words that came out of her mouth were negative. One of the things that she said was that, "You better not disappoint me again." And just really not believing in him. And I am not here to judge her and where she was in her positioning there, because it sounds like she's been really disappointed by his behavior over the not only the last 20 years, but probably most of his adult life. So I'm not here to judge her. But what I want to say is that it looks like he was really wanting his mother's approval, and he may or may not ever get it. And what I want to say to you related to that is, if you're looking for the approval of someone really important in your life and you're not getting it, and it's continuing to keep you stuck, you might consider understanding why that is the case. And the obvious reason is because you want that person's approval, because you respect them, that you love them, and you really want their approval. But then you're going to have to really pray and do some soul searching to help you release the idea that you can't succeed unless you get that person's approval. Because the only approval we need is the approval that comes from God. I had mentioned in the other taping about the scripture that has really ministered to me over the years, and that is John 12:43, that says, "They love the approval of man more than the glory and the approval that comes from God." We really only need God's approval. If we're going to succeed in this life, have abundant life, have our best life, and do the things that really matter, do some things that really change the world, we're going to have to seek the approval that only comes from God. So in his situation, again, I just really hope and pray for him, and I have decided to pray for him every night, that he realizes that even if he doesn't get his mother's approval, that he is still important to this world, that he still matters, and that he can do some things that really changes the world. And I say the same thing for you. Even if you don't get that person's approval, you really are going to be able to do some things that change the world when you realize that you matter, that you have worth, and that you are an important part of this society. And more importantly, you are here in this moment in time for a reason, because you are going to do some extraordinary things. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Take care.